This is the Australian Open first round. Andre Agassi is the number 6 seed, having won the tournament last year. He's taken on Jiri Vanek in the first match. We are live, Melbourne Park, down under in Melbourne, Australia. This is the Vodafone Arena, everyone, and welcome to it. Andre Agassi playing here, match number 2 of the day, as he takes on Vanek, Jiri Vanek of the Czech Republic.
He just had a set point, did Agassi. He's back to deuce now at 6-5.
He won the first. Easily 6-love. Now another set point for Agassi.
Yeah, it was a routine first set for Agassi all over Vanek, who's pretty much a traditional baseline player, two-handed backhand. Pretty good legs, but Agassi showing some good, solid net play there.
Second set point for him.
Agassi looking very, very fit in the warm-up tournament leading into this first Grand Slam of the year. He won that Colonial Classic.
That is an exhibition series of matches that have played a warm-up for this one. Played also in Melbourne.
Played at Kooyong, Cliff.
Where they used to play on grass.
Yep.
Obviously now they have this surface. They're the rebound ace.
A little more rubbery than the hard course that we see in America and at the U.S. Open. The ball bounces up a bit higher here. That's just fine for Andre Agassi.
But slowed down a little this year after last.
A lot of the players complained last year. They felt the court was too quick. And the court seems to be playing very nicely this year. A little medium pace.
Set point Agassi.
I remember about 5 years ago, Cliff, it was incredibly slow. Remember when all the Spaniards got through to the quarterfinals that one year. Now it's a nice medium pace.
You've hit some on it, haven't you?
Sure. You were hitting some too with the rocket.
Yeah.
Rod Laver.
He's just a rookie, Vanek, and Agassi has got so much experience here. Live coverage of the Australian. He leads in the first round by 2-0. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Australian Open, everyone. Andre Agassi. The Vodafone Arena, it seats 10,000 people. It's about the same size, actually, as the Rod Laver Arena. Check the draw here of Andre Agassi's section of the draw. Take a look at it, Patrick.
Well, it's a difficult section, not so much in the first couple of rounds, but then as you head towards the quarterfinals, it would be Andre Agassi against Pete Sampras in the quarterfinals. Sampras coming in as the number 3 seed. Agassi is number 6. But a lot of people, myself included, Cliff, really see Agassi as maybe one of the 1 or 2 favorites based on how well he's played here in the past, based on how we saw him play at the year-end championships. Despite losing to Kirtan, he looked good, he looked fresh, and he's been practicing very hard in the off-season, and he looked good, as we talked about in the warm-up event here, down under.
The seeded player in Agassi's section of the draw, the first one that he'll play, is Juan Carlos Ferrero.
Yeah, and that's
not Ferrero, the Spaniard.
And that's not going to be easy either. Ferrero is extremely talented. He led Spain to the Davis Cup title just about a little over a month ago in Spain.
He won his match earlier today over Alan Jones of Australia.
Nice smash there from Vanek, showing a little bit of talent up above there. He was off balance on that one. Watch this. It's a pretty good offensive lob from Agassi. Leaning backwards, able to snap it off with the wrist.
Vanek was a semi-finalist in the juniors at the French Championships and a quarterfinals here in Australia in '96.
Just picking him apart now. Agassi scores from today. Henman over Arazi in 3 straight.
That's a good win.
Yeah, that was a good, tough first round there. 7-6. There's the Ferrero score, pretty easily over Jones.
Jason Stoltenberg of Australia out.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Stoltenberg always plays well down here. Played well in a couple of the warm-up events. Augustine Caleri, one of the talented South Americans. There's another South American, Zabaleta, going down. Todd Woodbridge comes from 2-0 down.
He is so tough in these long matches. That was actually a win for Zabaleta in 5 over Woodbridge. Woodbridge is, I mean, he's a master of playing long matches, but went down today.
Agassi starting to find the range now, working. He worked his opponent over hard those first 2 sets. Normally when Agassi plays his best is when he works hard in the early stages of the match, makes his opponents work, doesn't actually hit that many winners. Then as the match goes on, it gets longer, he tires his opponents out. That's when Agassi starts to hit more winners. Like that one right there. Of course, it helps when you know you're up 2 sets to love.
Jiri Vanek is from Prague, Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic, rather. And he's, you know, he's relatively speaking a rookie. This is only his 2nd Australian Open.
Well, he's toiled mostly in the challenger level and hasn't played that many years at the highest level. Vanek's been around a few years.
He won a round last year here, but he's only won 2 tournaments in 2 matches in Grand Slam tournaments.
That's sort of typical game of a lot of players we see from the Czech Republic, from the Slovak Republic as well. Very balanced, a good 2-handed backhand. Another one of those players from the Slovak Republic, Cliff, is Karel Kuchera. We've seen him play some incredible tennis down here. In fact, he takes on Pete Sampras in the first round here.
Remember that great match they played here a few years ago?
Sure do.
When Sampras went down to him.
That's a tricky first round for Sampras.
Deuce, first game, 3rd set.
Oh, in the corner. Agassi on the dead run there. I don't think Vanek thought that this ball was going in. He had Agassi on the defensive, and look at this. Right in the corner. A sneaky quick first serve from Vanek, keeping him in this opening game in the 3rd set.
Jennifer Capriati playing on the Laver Arena. There in the 3rd set, we'll see some of that. And after the Capriati match, Patrick Rafter and Scotty Draper, 2 Australians, will battle it out. Big serve.
Ace number 8 there for Vanek. Game point.
Vanek wins the first game of the 3rd. He's down 2 sets to none.
Good hold there for Vanek, Cliff, but you can see him sort of sucking a little wind there, and that's what Agassi does to you when he's playing well. He just takes so much energy away from you, just zaps it from you.
A couple of other results for you. Guillermo Cañas, I know that you're interested in that because he took out Bastel, the guy who will probably play for Switzerland.
More than likely he will be one of the singles players.
Cello through as well. Russell losing to Pavel.
Yeah, young American qualified. It was a good match out there on court 10. Pavel, the Romanian talented.
Andrei Pavel.
There's that score wrong again. Still wrong for the 2nd time. Zabaleta won that in 5. I promise you it won't be wrong for a 3rd time. That I can promise you.
Oh, that's good moving from Agassi. I mean, Patrick, speed and health for him is very important.
Yeah, well, when you know when he's confident, when he's moving this well, that's the key to Agassi's game. How fit he is, how much he wants to be out there. It's always been that way. It always will be that way.
His trainer, Gilles Reyes, says that he can play till he's 35 quite very successfully. He's 30 years old now.
All right, we got it. 3's a charm. Zabaleta winning at 6-4 in the 5th.
Todd Woodbridge known better for his doubles game, of course.
14.
One of the Woodies.
Well, his buddy, his partner retired.
Yeah.
Mark Woodford. Unbelievable career they had together. Game point for Agassi now.
Agassi.
1 game all in the 3rd set. 2 sets to none Agassi. If Agassi wins this, we showed you the draw. He takes on the Spaniard Puentes or Paul Goldstein of the USA.
Mark Woodford just had a baby, Pam Shriver reports to me. She's always on top of the details.
15.
Mark Woodford, so we congratulate him. His wife Erin gave birth to a baby girl 8 days ago. There's Agassi again with the movement there, getting up to that ball quickly. A drop shot on rebound ace has got to be absolutely perfect for you to have any chance to win the point, because this, as I said, this court is rubberized and the ball bounces up very quickly and very high off this surface.
Players have got more time this year than last. Last year we were talking in the early stages like it was playing like a grass court because the ball was staying so low and fast. But that has changed. You have more time now.
Yeah, and it's going to make for a much better tennis.
I agree.
We were talking about it last year. The level of tennis really didn't get to that level that we expect in a Grand Slam until really midway through the tournament, when the players had really adjusted to the surface. Yeah, Agassi just working him coast to coast there.
But adjust they did, Patrick. And remember the semi-final, Agassi and Sampras, one of the classics.
That was a beautiful match. That was Agassi winning that 4th set in a tie break and then running away with it in the 5th. 6-1. Well, that's what happens. You get a little bit tired. You start to go for a little bit more than you're used to, than you want to. And the unforced errors start to grow.
Break point. Remember, Agassi won the Australian last year, and when he did, it was his 4th straight Grand Slam final that he had been in, winning 3 of them.
But then the rest of the year was a major disappointment for Agassi. And that's one of the reasons he worked so hard this offseason and came down here early and looks to be very prepared for this year's run.
He has to work hard to play well. He has to work harder than a guy like Sampras, who can serve his way to so many wins without that much energy. Not so Agassi. Game point now to Vanek. Vanek's a big hockey fan.
Let me guess, he's a Jaromir Jagr fan?
Right.
Is that what you're going to say next?
He's a hockey. Duh. I mean, everybody from the Czech Republic's a hockey fan.
That's right. Well, Jaromir's happy his buddy came back, Mario Lemieux. Giving him a few more points per night. Back to deuce here. 1-all 3rd set. Double digits for Vanek now with 10 aces.
Oh, he wins the point and he wins the game, but there's some desperation when you try to go for a drop shot against a guy as quick as Andre Agassi. They're on serve in the 3rd. Agassi has won the first 2. Live coverage of the Australian Open in Melbourne. Love Agassi. He's serving, trailing 2-1. He has 2 sets under his belt. This is the start of his effort to retain the Australian.
13.
It hasn't happened often that the players have been able to retain the title. Courier did it, because he was the last one.
Took his little dip in the Yarra River.
Twice.
After that.
Lendl did it. Edberg did it. In fact, Edberg owned this event.
13-15. Well, one thing it pays to be down here, Cliff, maybe even more than any other event, is extremely fit and prepared, because unlike all the other majors, you come in this one sort of off a vacation. You come in not having really that many matches. That's why over the years we've seen a lot of kind of unseeded surprise players get through to the semifinals, even the finals. So it really pays to come in here and be extremely fit, get a couple of wins under your belt.
31. In fact, you never know what to expect at the Australian Open, do you?
I think it's the most surprising one. I mean, obviously the French we have sort of names that are maybe we don't recognize in America that much because they're clay court specialists. 14-13.
Game point Agassi.
Fifth ace for Andre. Agassi expected Vanek to guess one of the sides and one right down the middle, but I think old Jiri's getting a little too fatigued, Cliff. He said, I'm not moving here. Got a break.
They couldn't believe it came right back to him.
Yeah.
Tell you what, if he is tired, then he's got no chance of winning this.
Well, he doesn't, I don't think. Although I tell you, he can hit some shots, this kid. He's got great timing. We've seen him serve pretty well the last couple of games, and he's matched Agassi, Cliff, in the winner department. That's his 28th winner of the match against 31 for Agassi. A few more unforced for Vanek. Break point here. Big forehand from Andre.
Live coverage, the Australian Open from Melbourne, everybody. Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe watching Andre Agassi and Jiri Vanek. They are playing a first-round men's singles match. This is day one of this two-week-long competition. Agassi has won the first two sets. We're on serve in the third.
I want you to repeat the beginning of that last statement, Cliff, live from Australia. I wanted to remind everybody that we are live.
And we're
going to be live quite a bit. Yeah. Managed to get much better times this year for everyone back at home to see this great event.
Well, I want you to repeat great event, because it is a great event. It's sold out, by the way, from the first day.
It's great. The atmosphere, the fans are knowledgeable.
Agassi holds on. Even, 2 games apiece, third set, 2 sets to Agassi.
And they certainly enjoy their tennis down in Australia.
This is the biggest sporting event in Australia. It's one of 3 events that are broadcast worldwide from Australia. The other 2 are Grand Prix. One's an IndyCar Grand Prix and the other one's a Grand Prix.
Agassi again with the big forehand up the line, taking it early inside the baseline. No, looking to make his move here, Agassi, and get out of this match quickly. Greatest returners that tennis has ever seen.
Love 30. Jennifer Capriati in action. Rod Laver Arena. Third set.
Love 40.
There it is, Capriati at 3-2, up a break actually in that third set.
Started out poorly, but has made a great comeback.
Out. 15-40.
Still break points for Agassi.
Out. 13-40.
Agassi gets the break. That's first blood of the third set. He leads 3 games to 2. As we mentioned, live coverage on Rod Laver Arena. Jennifer Capriati.